What's up, everybody? Episode 3. We're back. QB's finest. Shout out to Nas and Ill Will Records. This is a compilation album. I only have it on vinyl, not CD, not digitally. I actually didn't really know about this project until I saw it in the record store. And after looking at the track list, I'm like, man, we got to get this. Because I go record shopping with my roommate Paul. He wasn't familiar with it either. But we had to get it just based off the fact that Nas executive produced it. Shout out to Ill Will. Ill Will Records is founded by Nas and named after Nas's childhood best friend, Ill Will, who was tragically shot and killed in 1992 when they were teenagers. This is the second release off Ill Will Records, the first release being Nostradamus, if I'm not mistaken. Ill Will Records put this project out. This was Nas's idea to bring together all Queensbridge rappers. So it features Nas and everybody from the Queensbridge housing projects, which includes Mobb Deep, Havoc, Prodigy, Nature, Nashawn, the Bravehearts, Cormega, Littles, Capone and Noriega, Black Poet, and Nas's brother Jungle is on here as well, and Big Noyd and the whole infamous mob. And besides that, it also features Queensbridge legends, Roxanne Shante, MC Shan, Marley Marl, Tragedy Gaddafi, and Craig G, representing the Juice Crew. So got some big names on here. All Queensbridge, all QB, as you can see by the medallion. Queensbridge is home to some of the best MCs ever, and specifically known for not really keeping count of your bars and just rapping for a long time and just like telling a story and describing through descriptive language what's going on in your neighborhood. But those guys don't really stick to 16 bars, which I personally love. So there's a lot of that on here too, and the production is majority held down by LES. LES produced Life's a Bitch off Nas's first album, Illmatic, featuring AZ. So you already know what he's capable of if you've heard that song. So he did 8 tracks on here. One of them is co-produced with Marley Marl. That track is called The Bridge 2001, which is a reference to The Bridge is Over, BDP. And it's kind of, they're all from Queensbridge, so it's kind of like flipping it. And I think Nas actually used that record to address Memphis Bleak, Dame Dash, Beanie Siegel, Jay-Z, and all of Rockefeller Records. Because as you know, they've had some serious beef, and at the time, it was still going on. However, Cormega is on this album, so him and Nas got over their long-time feud they had with one another and finally collaborated on this project. Cormega is one of my favorite MCs also. Havoc also did 2 beats on here. Havoc is Mobb Deep's producer, and one of the beats is one that I chose for the Head Nod Music Volume 2. I just released a video for the process and used this beat, which is the track called Power Rap, which is a solo track by Prodigy with Havoc on the beat. And I love this track so much. But yeah, Prodigy just has one of those memorable voices and deliveries. It almost doesn't even matter if he rhymes or not. It's going to be dope, and he's going to say something deep, meaningful, and important. And he's also going to challenge you. He's as conscious as he is street, especially as he goes on in his career. He's really dropping gems on a lot of stuff. So rest in peace, Prodigy. I love this beat. I had to use it. The first time I heard that song, I was like, damn, this is my favorite track. So that is my favorite track, but not by much, because there's 2 other tracks that I really love on here. One is Find Your Wealth, which is also produced by Les. Find Your Wealth. Check this out. You know what I mean? Boom bap music from the soul with that street element still intact. And I forgot to go over the rest of the producers. Scott Storch did a track on here. It's called Our Way, featuring Capone and Noriega. The Alchemist has a track on here called Money, featuring Mr. Chalish. And then the Infinite Architects did 2 tracks on here. That's my 3rd favorite track, also besides the one I showed you, Find Your Wealth Power Rap, and it would also be Self-Conscious. I thought this was produced by Havoc also, because it just sounds like a Mobb Deep song, but it's not. And it features Prodigy and Nas, Self-Conscious. I highly recommend this song to everybody. It's got a dope concept. You know, Nas and Prodigy on the same track together. And the Infinite Architects, for those who don't know, because I wasn't familiar with the Infinite Architects either, they've worked with Big Pun, Terror Squad, Raekwon, Nas, obviously, and a whole bunch of legendary New York rappers. So check some more of their stuff out. The Infinite Architects definitely killed that track, Self-Conscious. I highly recommend that. Plain Truth did one beat on here called Die For with the Infamous Mob. And then Al West did the bonus track called Teenage Thug, which is a cool concept. Definitely worth listening to. And then another track worth checking out, I would say, is Fire, which is a solo track by Nature. Nature is in The Firm. And I believe Cormega was supposed to be in The Firm initially, and then Nature ended up kind of filling in that spot because they had a difference of opinions, Cormega, Nas, and whatever. But check out Nature's solo track on here, Fire. It's also produced by LES. And then Street Glory would be the last track I recommend, produced by LES also. So LES, everything he did on here is pretty top notch. I'm going to check out what else he's done on other people's stuff. LES, man, incredible producer. But that Street Glory track featuring Nas is a sample I've heard before. I think Kool G Rap used that before, and other people too. But it's featuring Pop. I love that track. Check that one out. And then what else we got here? Ushiwali was like the hit track on this album. Ushiwali, not my favorite track at all, but that track did numbers on the charts. No other songs on this did. I typically pick albums that aren't really chart positioned, and I try to pay homage to albums that are lesser known. You know, I'm not going to do a Jay-Z album. You know, everybody knows Jay-Z. I'm trying to do some stuff that people aren't familiar with and stuff that inspires me to rap the way I do, because a lot of people ask me, how did I get to this point where I rap the way that I do? Who are my influences are? And these are them. Heavy. Every week I'm hitting you with something that specifically changed the way I rap or influenced it or reinforced me to keep going the same direction that I'm in. And Prodigy is one of those people that reinforced me to stay true to myself. And this track, Power Rap, is a perfect example of that. The way the beat sounds, the way he raps over it with no hook, like that's my kind of style, lyricism and hip hop. And yeah, this isn't Nas's best album by any means. You know, I would highly recommend Hip Hop Is Dead if you haven't, and then HNIC, Prodigy solo album. So we're representing Queensbridge here heavy. Rest in peace to Prodigy. Much respect to Nas, and thank you for putting this project together. Rest in peace to Ill Will as well, and shout out to Ill Will Records for dropping this. I believe it will only get better the more you listen to it. It's an underrated project. I recommend it. Shout out to Nas. Anything he's involved with, you know he's going to keep his integrity. And shout out to LES, man. Killing these beats on here. Until next time, the homage continues. Peace.